Hello viewers, here is a Carrier International Series window air conditioner. This is the rather uncommon 7800 BTU variant, and I am very excited about this one because this is, I would go as far as to say, on the list of top 5 air conditioners I wanted to find. My grandparents bought a International Series back in the 80s, and that was one of the machines I grew up with. It's still there, still in service to this day, so I like them for that reason. Plus, it's just a phenomenal piece of equipment. These are probably some of the best air conditioners from the era. This one I believe is from 1989. It's kind of hard to see the information. It's kind of, they're dirty. Let's see here. There's the model number. Looks like it is 51ZMA108111. Has an error of 9, and the cooling, come on, is 78,000. I know this picture's horrible, and it's R22, of course, and the date code is right up there. Pretty sure it says 89 or 88. I'm going to go with 89, although now it's kind of looking more like 88 through the camera. And maybe it is 88, as far as I can zoom in. 88, 89, late 80s Carrier. Very cool machine. I found one very similar to this earlier in the year. I was hoping it was this variant. I only saw it from the outside mostly. I think there was a crummy picture from the inside. The front grille is kind of the same, but the controls was a button style. Still a great find, great machine. Is especially cool because it had the original box. But ultimately this was the model I was looking for, with the dial controls. This one is in pretty good shape. Let me take the front cover off so we can take a look at the coil. This one, I was told, was in some kind of storage situation. The filter is relatively clean, so it's definitely had some care to it over the years. And the coil is not covered in dust or mold, so it too has had some care over the years, even if it's just regular filter cleanings. It's not bad. Very little to no rust in there. It's in really good shape, actually. Even down to the bottom. These bottom corners is usually where you look for the rust. That's where it starts, and it's pretty good. Look at the quality, like even just the thermostat. They took the time to do it at an angle, put the shielding on there. It's such a good quality piece of equipment. It's built the way it should be. It's not often you run into equipment where it's just like the whole thing is just correct. A lot of the Feder stuff I find is like that, and these are kind of the same way. A lot of aspects of these were really correct. And not much to complain about with these designs, other than the lack of a drain hole, of course, but that's a whole different discussion. This one has the Daewoo compressor from Korea. Where's the heck? There it is. Trying to find where it says it. It says it right in there. Daewoo Carrier. R22, of course. I don't see a date code on there. Yeah, and the quality continues. Like, it's even got the shielding over the wiring, and this is all wound up nicely, and it's just, everything is just the way it should be. And even in the condenser area, and not much going on in terms of rust. It's pretty much good all the way down, which is really, really rare at this point in time, because these are getting to be, you know, 30 plus years old. This is the same style guard that my grandparents' 12K has, whereas the other one I found has like the circular pattern, which is comparable to my 27K. And now I'm looking at this, it almost looks like it might be a slide out. I don't think that it is, but it kind of looks like it just from the back. You know what? I think it actually is a slide out, because I wouldn't have this handle here if it wasn't. That's weird. It's not often you find slide outs this small. It's definitely convenient though. Yeah, it is a slide out. See, there's the tray. Huh, that's pretty cool. Now looking at the inside, again, very minimal rust. You know, the loop down there is pretty much fine. Looks like it might have got a second coat of paint at some point, which is interesting. And it's fairly clean in there. The coil doesn't look bad at all. And definitely some corrosion at the bottom from the stupid slinging trash, but it's, oh come on, there's nothing compared to what it usually is. It's not bad at all. It should clean up really good, and it shouldn't be clogged. Yeah, huge capacitor in there. Good stuff. Alright, let's get the guard back on. Oh, it does still have one last thing before we turn it on. It does still have the old Carrier logo. So I definitely think this is a pretty low hours machine. The only thing I don't understand is how the condenser got so bent up with the guard on it. Maybe it was just stored on the back. I guess that could be evident from all the scratching. Yeah, this is definitely a slide out. I didn't know that before. Definitely a slide out. That's cool. So I suppose, it's not quite the depth. I suppose it could go through the wall. I want to put a unit through the wall in the computer room. This would be the right size. Well, not this year, but that's definitely something to think about. Alright, where is the... Let's put this back on. Okay, go ahead and plug it in here. I'm going to have to replace the cord, unfortunately, because the grounding pin is missing. This cord is kind of weird. It doesn't even seem like the original, but I guess it probably is. It's 77 degrees in here. That's clicking right about a little more than halfway. 120.2 the volts, because I got no air conditioners on tonight. Let's go over to amps. I guess this is the flaky kilowatt meter. It's reading 0.3, but actually, you know what? No, it's not the flaky kilowatt meter. It probably is drawing 0.3 because of the timer. I can hear it humming. That's not to say it works, but it might. I wonder if it works. Well, this is saying right about 6 o'clock. I'm going to leave it plugged in for a while and see if it keeps time. The one upstairs does still work. So it's possible that this one, also being low hours, does still work. The only thing that's really wrong with this is it's missing these pieces have been kind of broken off. It's not too big of a deal. It's also missing the control panel window, but that's the worst that's going on. This is pretty good. Alright, so we'll turn this off. It's got this stupid useless vent feature. We'll turn that off. Fan, cycle, timer. I can feel it. I think it's working. That'd be really cool if it works. Probably 90% of that noise is all the condenser fan. This thing is almost silent. That's one of the things I like about these units. This is being taped in stereo, so you should be able to hear the difference. And there's almost nothing from the front in terms of noise. There's air kicking out the side right here. So I wonder what's going on with that. The fan design isn't quite right or something. There is airflow everywhere, top to bottom, so the coil should be in good shape. That's low fan, medium fan, throw some good air, high fan. And again, all that noise is coming out of the back. This inside here is super quiet. And it's pretty strong. It's moving a lot of air through that register. Granted, it's a small register, but it's pushing some serious air. Alright, let's get the thermostat out here. The temperature thingy. Thermometer, that's what it's called. Thermometer. And I like to put this somewhere that you could actually see it. Come on. Alright, that might have to suffice like that. Or not. It's got to at least stay in there. Alright, that should be good. Alright, turn on this Daewoo rotary. What that rattling is. Wasn't doing that before. I must have messed something up when I took the cover off. It, by no surprise, is already cooling. And it's 77 degrees in here, so we're already getting 62 out. Not bad. Alright, I'll let this run for a little while. I'm going to give it 10 or 15 minutes to get down to temperature and up to pressure, and then we'll come back on the video. It's been running for about 5 or 10 minutes now. The ambient temperature is 77 and the output is 43. So it is working great. See what our condenser temperatures are like. I don't know where the discharge is on this thing. It feels pretty equally hot throughout. And this is a very bad use case. Remember, even like right here, next to the machine, it's in the 90s because the air is not circulating around. So this is, I would consider this a pretty realistic or even a high load scenario. Around 120 is going to be our stabilizing point. That's high, but it's not unreasonable. These did seem to run pretty hot on the outside after. A nice sweaty return line. So the charge is good. Focus. Stupid camera. For a rotary, that sounds pretty good. It's got that like meaty metallic sound to it that you usually only get out of reciprocating. And the sound that you would get from the inside is just so quiet. It's next to nothing. Freezing air coming out of this thing. It's quality stuff. Very good quality. And there is good airflow, top to bottom, so coil's in good shape, which is a relief, because a lot of times by now they're not. Just from years and years of reliable service without maintenance. Let's see if we got a temperature reading on the compressor here. 150. Yeah, that's about what I would expect. The International series is the one thing I would say about it. Compressors in the condenser did run very hot. Doesn't seem to matter. They last. I do see these around from time to time still. And just amongst the people that I know, my grandparents have one that's been in service since the 80s, and another one of my relatives has one that's been in service since the 80s. And I see them in houses and everything around here. These and the fetters, I see the fetters a lot. So they last. They're good stuff. Alright, we'll cut it off now. And it looks like the timer is in fact working. The 6 was almost exactly at the top before, and now it's not. So I think we have a fully operational piece of equipment here.